Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to August the 12th, 2005, of the Impact Retro podcast. In 2020, currently, the UK is in a heat wave, and I am dying in this heat. I probably look really red on your camera right now. I don't know about my colleague today, but I am dying in this heat. It is horrible. But we move on, we continue. Before we get into the August 12th show, we do obviously have our sponsors to speak about. First one is We Love Sport. Go and check them out. Download the app to find out the closest bars and pubs, hopefully with a pub garden in this weather, that are showing wrestling and other sports like football, cricket, rugby, etc., etc. They do have a brilliant app, which I think you can get a free pint on, which again, in this weather, is very, very tempting. On the Apple or Google Play Store. Follow them on Twitter at We Love Sport UK and go over to their website, welovesport.co. Yes, it is real. And finally, we've got our sponsor, 1310 Apparel, who are doing shorts. What wrestling brand or clothing does shorts? Not many.
Embroider, Death by Roller.
Shut up. Put me off now. 1310 Apparel, use the code TWM25 on the website to get yourself 25% off. The website is 1310apparel.bigcartel.com. That is 13 written as the word, 10 as the number, .bigcartel.com. Follow them on Twitter as well at 1310 Apparel. And joining me is McIver from last week.
Hey, how you guys doing? As at the time of filming, it's my birthday, so.
Is your birthday today? Oh, yeah, of course it is.
Yes, it is. It is. It's my birthday. I am 23 years old.
We'll have to break kayfabe here, guys. This isn't McIver.
Oh, what?
I know. McIver's internet broke because Scotland sucks.
All right, fine. We're doing it this way then.
No, I can't keep pretending to refer to you as McIver and then wanting to actually call you by your real name, which is, of course, Joe.
Unfortunately.
Although you do look 23.
Thanks. I think.
Someone thought I was 19. I'm 25.
Yeah, I pretty constantly get told I'm in my early 20s when I'm not.
Yeah, obviously McIver was meant to join me on the journey up to Sacrifice, but due to a storm in Scotland, because when England is having a heat wave, they're having a storm. The BT internet broke and he couldn't get it fixed until the end of this week.
Didn't the BT tower literally fall down?
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
Because Scotland.
And all that.
Yeah. But we move on into the show. First match of the night, Matt Bentley, obviously accompanied by his valet and I believe at this time girlfriend, Tracy Brooks, versus Shark Boy.
I've literally never heard of two of these people.
I'm assuming Tracy Brooks and Shark Boy.
Yeah, no, I've heard of Shark Boy. Shell, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Matt Bentley. Matt Bentley used to be called, let me go back into my notes because he actually did this live on there. He used to be called Michael Shane, but had to change his name because a WWE wrestler was called Michael Shane, and it was like Mike Shane, and he put a lawsuit in. So Matt Bentley had to change his name.
Who's the woman with the obvious boob job?
Tracy Brooks.
Yeah, but like, what
I don't know.
What has she done since? Was she doing before? Do we know anything?
I shall Google. Interesting fact, though, I'm sure people that have watched this podcast before will know this, but not Michael Shane, because it's Matt Bentley now. Matt Bentley is a cousin of WWE Hall of Famer, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I did not know that.
No.
So why does he have charisma whatsoever?
I have no idea. Basically, she was in Impact from 2003. She was with Michael Shane until 2006. Then she went to Robert Roode up until 2008. I thought I recognised her name. Then she wrestled on the Independents, this, that, and the other. And she's married to Frankie Kazarian. I knew she was married to a wrestler. But I couldn't remember which one.
Okay, there we are.
There we are. But yeah, Shark Boy stabs his head in Tracy's ass because 2005. I think it's one of his finishing moves.
Yeah, he bites people.
Yeah, it's a bite.
Bites people. It's kind of one of his things. He bites people. Just gave her a shark bite.
Because he's a shark.
Yeah. No.
Matt Bentley takes advantage of a distraction from the referee and picks up a win, which is quite a surprise to see because Matt Bentley doesn't really win matches. He just is there, bit of a jobber. We get a backstage segment with Shocker, who I didn't realize is still wrestling to this day, and he's like in his 50s now, which is mad.
I was just looking at this guy and thinking, who is this?
Yeah,
I was like,
he's Mexican.
Who dipped Alberto Del Rio / Al Patron into a vat of hydrogen peroxide?
He is actually Mexican. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he is Mexican.
I mean, like, yeah, but like I'm talking about more than just his demeanor, the way that he, carried him.
Yeah, but he set this interview sets up a rubber match with Alex Shelley, but I don't remember him beating Alex Shelley.
It's probably before you started doing this. I think he beat Alex Shelley. Beats Alex Shelley on pay-per-view and then lost in the tournament bracket.
He did. Yeah, he sets up a rubber match for Sacrifice. But
Sacrifice.
We get the final semi-final of the Super X Cup. PT Williams versus AJ Styles. Absolutely banger of a match because both wrestlers are really, really good. Really, really good.
Weird watching Pete Williams be the captain of was it Team Canada? So strange because like when I think Pete Williams, I just think of chainmail and sunglasses.
I just think of Little Papa Pump, yeah. But he lost. Pete Williams loses. AJ Styles advances to the final. Sacrifice against Samoa Joe. What else do we get? We get Lance Hoyt talking about his match against Abyss at Sacrifice, and then we get Kip James and Monty Brown talking about Sacrifice. Obviously, this is the go-home show before the pay-per-view.
Didn't you skip over the fact that Lance Hoyt got jumped in the middle of that interview?
Yes, I did. Yes, he gets jumped. But obviously, everything's leading up to Sacrifice. That is gunning it. You do every wrestling company does it. You hype up a pay-per-view before it happens. We get Monty Brown in solo action, accompanied obviously by Kip James against Elix Skipper.
Elix Skipper, the guy who did that mad
Hurricane Rana off the cage. Yeah, it's like 2003. He did a Hurricane Rana. He did like the tightrope walk on the 6 hours of steel.
And at the time, his tag team partner was Christopher Daniels.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Can you say Janetti? Because I can't say Janetti. Half the time I say Janetti.
Yeah, Janetti. He disappeared into obscurity in about 2005, 6, 7, like something like that.
Oh, but honestly, his career is not going to take a turn.
If you say his name, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, the guy that did the Hurricane Rana off the top of the cage." But other than that, no one knows who he is.
But Elix Skipper made a big fan of me, but it doesn't really matter because welcome to the Serengeti.
Yes, Monty Brown picks up the win with the
Pounce.
Because he's a big boy. He's an American footballer. We get Simon Diamond and David Young, the Jobber Squad TNA style.
Diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, whatever. I prefer Job Squad TNA. Going up against America's Most Wanted. But Diamond and Young actually win because Team Canada come out to distract America's Most Wanted, and then the Naturals come out to make the save on them. But the distraction's been made, and America's Most Wanted lose, which is quite weird to see because this was like their ascent to stardom.
Well, it sets up. You know what? Let me not jump ahead.
Yeah, it sets up a match at Sacrifice between Team Canada, versus America's Most Wanted, and the Naturals teaming together, which didn't really happen. Which is actually the next interview segment, so I've already done it for myself. There you go. It's all weird. We get Ron Killings and Conan versus Jarrell Clark and Mikey Batts. And Killings and Conan.
I don't know who the other tag team are, but one thing I want to say that I didn't realize. Conan's a unit, yo.
Who is?
Conan.
Conan's really short. I think that's what everyone knows. No one realizes how stocky. I'm pretty sure he's quite short. I'm pretty sure he's stocky.
I'm sorry, he looks about the same height as Ron Killings, like at all time.
Let me check.
I'm just saying he's a unit.
I mean, to be fair, I am thinking of him against standing next to like Hernandez and Santana and Ortiz. He's 5'10", so he's not really short. He's just under the 6 foot mark. And then
I'm saying he's built. He's a built dude. I didn't realize. I thought he would be.
And our truth is 6'2".
Yeah, fair enough.
But they beat the Job Squad team of, I know Mikey Batts, I don't know Gerald Clark, but BG James turns up, obviously Road Dogg, and still refuses to give Conan an answer because he wants him to join the 3 Live crew, which is a tag team.
I'm sorry, Conan had the best line of the entire episode when he said, "You've turned up a day late and $1 short."
Conan is very, very underrated. Like, I think he's always been very underrated from like the second he left WCW when it folded.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to TNA. A lot of people, I don't think, paid attention to him.
But he was.
He's a group wrestler. He just will DM you on Twitter and ask you, "Have you listened to his podcast yet?" And you say yes. No, I actually haven't, but I'm going to, because you might see this. It might make me. But we get our main event of Rhino versus Chris Sabin. Raven and Jarrett turn up to obviously have a brawl. Lights go out. Sabu appears. The 4 men in the main event of Sacrifice. Rhino powerbomb Sabin onto Raven through a table. Table doesn't break.
Yep. Da, 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 da. Wait, no, sorry, that's jogging. No, that's corpsing. We won. I am the table.
Jarrett locks in Raven with the figure 4 leg lock, and then Rhino actually puts Sabu through a table. Rhino does beat Chris Sabin, I will say. That was like the match. But obviously, at this point in time, any match that's loosely associated with Jeff Jarrett, the match doesn't really matter. It's more than what happens afterwards, because it's normally what involves Jarrett.
Like with Jeff Jarrett runs down bleach blonde hair, and his famous dad interferes in the match and then puts in the figure 4 on the person he's feuding with. Did I just describe Jeff Jarrett in 2005 or Cody Rhodes in 2020?
Oh, shots fired there. Shots fired to end it as well. That's a good pondering question. You're going to get a message of Adam saying 30-second video now. Put it up on Twitter. But yeah, that's the August 12th show of TNA. The go home before we hit Sacrifice. Sacrifice. A very fun episode and very Sacrifice heavy. It set everything up we needed. It had, the second finalist in the Super X Cup. It had the 8-man tag match. It had the more hype around the tag team main event. It had another layer to the story of BG James and the 3 Live crew, Monty and Kip. And it also had something else that I'm forgetting what it was. Lance Hoyt getting attacked. Obviously setting up his match too with a boy, with a bit.
Also, it's lovely to see Lance Hoyt before he took up marksmanship.
Yeah. I mean, he has had gimmick after gimmick. Like, people forget who he is. Like, he was Lance Hoyt here. Then he was Lance Hoyt, Rock and Raven Faction. Then he was Vance Archer in WWE. I'm pretty sure it was Vance for a year. Then the man that we know now from New Japan in 2010 with the Killer Elite Squad, and now
in AEW. Yeah.
Long career.
That is called character development, my friend. Character development.
It is. He went from like a biker now to a guy that played rock band guitars on the way to the ring with Christy Hemme and someone else. It's Shannon Moore, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was someone. But before I ramble on and this goes on really, really long, we'll end it there. Before we go, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at TWM Wrestle. Follow us on this illustrious YouTube channel at the Wrestling Network, Wrestling Movement. I don't know where network came from. And follow us on Twitch at the Wrestling Movement or TWM. I can't remember which one it is, because if you do, the night this goes out, we've got Joe and a few of the other guys playing some Cards Against Humanity.
Yes, we are.
Wrestling edition.
Be an absolute show. Sorry, my internet's good. Yeah, you should 100% follow at TWM Wrestle for all of that stuff. You can follow George at his Twitter account. I can't remember what it is. Is it George _Deal _?
It is George _Deal _.
And you can follow me at McIver the Mark.
And you can follow all of our sponsors that we mentioned at the beginning.
So We Love Sport UK.
Yep, We Love Sport UK. This heat is sending us delirious.
And at 1310 Apparel. So yeah, I think that's us.
Done. Bye.